has only one look, for Christ's sake. Blue Steel, Ferrari, La Tigra, they're the same face. Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
All right, guys. Welcome to the Crazy Pills podcast, episode 5. And today I have my illegitimate child with me. No, it's okay. So for those of you maybe seen him in my Instagram stories and Facebook stories, his name's Joshua. Actually met him through the Big Brother program. So I got him when he was 12 and he's 16 now. And he actually mentioned to me that he wanted to be on the podcast, which I was shocked by because he's actually very shy. And then the topic he wanted to talk about was mental health. Right, so I guess I'll probably give a quick background about you. Right, so you came from a pretty tough situation.
Yes.
Okay, and then your mom was a foster. She did foster care first.
Like
Sharon.
Sharon, yeah.
Yeah. So she was a foster parent first, and then decided to adopt your older brother, Lewis, you, and Natalie. Right, like 8 years ago.
Yeah, 8 years ago.
Or she adopted Lewis and Natalie. You and Lewis first.
Yeah.
And then went and got Natalie. Like how much later? Like a year later, or?
About a year later, yeah.
Okay, and so there's 3 of you, and then you have, how many siblings you have total?
6, 7 including me.
Okay, there's 7 of you, and then the other 4 are older.
Yes.
Okay, and you don't keep in touch with them at all.
No.
Okay, I guess start out. Is there anything about that you're comfortable sharing? You don't have to share anything you want to.
No.
But what was the situation like before?
My situation was I grew up in a messed up family. Family was in gangs and violence. I grew up in a home that was physically abusive, sexually, verbally. I grew up my life as a kid that needs to survive. So we grew up in a house that was not.
And this was in California?
I was born in California, but we spent most of our lives in Chicago.
Okay, I actually didn't know that. Okay. So, and then how did you end up getting taken away?
I remember that it was nighttime, me and my sibling were sleeping, then the police broke down the door and started tackling, tasing people, put everybody in handcuffs. We went to the police station, we stayed there for a couple of minutes, and somebody came and explained what was going on. And
so what
figured out that my oldest sibling, Stephanie, she called the cops and we didn't know. And cops asked where we were and she told them. And the cops came the next day and took us away.
Okay. Well, why did the cops break in?
Because my mom and dad was wanted. They've been trying to put them in jail for a long time.
Okay, so they had a arrest warrant out for them.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. I actually did not. I'm finding out a lot of this stuff too. Okay. And then when you mentioned you wanted to be on the podcast, you wanted to talk about mental health. Okay. What's the big message you want to send?
People that has mental health, most people don't think that other people are dealing with the same things. They think they're all by themselves, but I have many diagnoses with different mental health problems, but people that don't know really about mental health, but they think they know, but they don't really understand what mental health really does to a person in the real life and how it affects them communicating with regular people, jobs, and just trying to get a message out for people that don't have it, how it really affects people like me and other people in the world.
Okay, so I think your mom told me that when she first got you, you barely knew how to talk.
Yeah.
Like you just didn't really know English because you didn't.
Yeah. We grew up.
Get to go to school at all.
Since I was born as a baby, we didn't know nothing about.
Yes, we're all born as babies.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I never went to school.
Yeah.
Never knew my name. Never knew I was born.
You didn't know your name?
No.
Oh, damn.
So me and my siblings only knew Spanish, and when we came to America, I guess.
Wait, I thought you were born in California and you went to Chicago.
Yeah.
So what do you mean when you came to America?
Like here.
Like Florida?
Yeah, Florida.
Okay.
I call it America.
Okay. Okay.
When we came here, everybody started speaking English, and we didn't know what they were saying.
Yeah.
Then after that, we went to different foster homes, understood some English from hearing people. Then we went to Sharon, my adopted parent right now. She got us a speech specialist that taught us English, and she told us to focus on English than Spanish, so we forgot how to speak Spanish, and we learned how to speak English. It took us a while to understand English, but we finally got it down. And we started speaking English from there.
Okay. And then, so one of the qualities probably the quality that I value the most is self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And even when I first got you, when you were 12, what I noticed was you're very self-aware, right? And for people that it's not necessarily intelligence; it's the ability to actually observe what's going on, and then if you can articulate it, you have to actually be able to observe it, right? So I think part of it, it's it's just. It might just be like natural, but I think part of it is because you were used to actually observing and then talking about what's going on emotionally, your feelings, things like that from working with therapists, right? I guess talk a little bit about that. What's your definition of self-awareness, if you have one? And then what's changed from, I guess, when you were first aware, okay, there's mental health issues or stuff that I'm dealing with, and how they change, how they progress, what's helped, what hasn't. So first one, what's your definition of self-awareness?
My definition of self-awareness is knowing what you're feeling and pretty much knowing what's going on in you. And I think that's my definition of awareness.
So is it instead of looking at the circumstances and then thinking the circumstances is real, it's that what's going on internally is actually dictating how you're perceiving external circumstances? Or you just nodding your head because I said that?
No,
because you actually get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then what's kind of helped over the last 8 years? 8 long years.
8 long years, yeah. I guess therapy helped me a lot.
What is it about therapy?
Therapy is I went through at least 10 or more therapists, but this one that I have now, she's very she believes in a lot of meditation and believes in mindfulness
Uh-huh.
stuff. So
Okay.
I did
How long have you had her? Like a year?
a year.
Okay.
I didn't really believe in that. So like I thought it was dumb. I didn't think it would
I've
work.
been telling you about it.
Yes, I know.
You thought it was dumb?
I know.
Okay.
Well, like this is when I started trying it
Interesting.
and like practicing more and more often. I started feeling more control and more calm than I was before. So I started using it more and more often.
Okay, and then like, what are you doing for meditation?
Like across my legs. Then I don't know what's this called. I just do this and on my legs. Then I listen to. I go on YouTube, look up mindfulness meditation.
Okay, and then so you're doing a guided meditation.
Yeah, guided meditation.
Like how is there like about like how long are the guided meditations for you? Because if I give you like a 4-hour one, you're like hell no.
Yeah.
Right. So what's a good length for you?
A good length for me is about 1 to 2 hours.
You meditate for 1 to 2 hours? Mm-hmm. How often?
About 4 times a week.
You'll actually just put on a guided meditation 4 times a week? What? Yeah. I did not know that. Okay. And then when you're doing it, what are you actually doing? You're just listening to it?
I'm listening to it. I mostly image something in my mind that calms me down or that feels like I'm home pretty much. So I mostly image a forest, mountains and all animal life. I just sit there and just hear all the noises and just really focus on what am I seeing, how I'm really feeling, and how this image that I created, how does it really make me feel.
Okay, and then what are the benefits for you?
The benefit for me is you feel more calm, you feel more, I guess, I like call it alive. Like,
yeah.
And you just feel more energy, you feel more happy. It just calms my body to a point like I witnessed like a miracle pretty much.
Okay. And then this is more personal. You don't have to answer it if you don't want to. What have you been diagnosed with?
Okay.
Not that it's real, because people get diagnosed whatever, but what have people told you that you have? I've
been diagnosed with eating disorder. I've been diagnosed with depression. I've been diagnosed with anxiety, PTSD, personality disorder. I think that's it. Okay.
Now, for people that are experiencing, say, like a challenge, mental health, mental illness, what's your message to them?
My message is that you're not alone. You got people like me that's still trying to deal with their past and everything. It's always good to seek help instead of keeping everything in and thinking you could do this on your own. I always thought that I was by myself, that I was never get through this, and like I'm mentally and physically strong, that I could do everything by myself. I don't need no one to help me. But I started to realize that the more you do what I was doing, the worse you get. So when I started to seek counseling, mentoring, and meditation, all of that I never really cared about. But as soon as you figured out those people actually cared and want you to get better and actually gave you advice and about life that most people don't really get, like me, as I never got those type of love advice that people give me today, because I just knew violence and gang lifestyle stuff. So I think my message for people like me is never give up and always seek help if you can.
Okay, so like asking for help is actually being strong.
Yeah.
As opposed to
Nah.
being afraid to be, I guess, like vulnerable.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what about people that might not, that haven't experienced it or can't relate to it, and then think like, just stop being anxious. What's the big deal? Right? Or the other one, and you might separate this into two, or the ones that think you just take some kind of like pill or drugs to numb yourself from it.
Yes. I'll go to the drug one first, because
Okay.
I took a lot of drugs for my different diagnosis, but I don't think it works because
Ooh, you want to get canceled? You don't think the pills work?
Hold on, let me explain. It works, but as soon as you get off of it, you realize that the only thing you're doing is pretty much hiding from what's really going on.
Okay, so it doesn't actually cure anything. It just numbs you from it.
It just numbs you from it until you get off. And you start to realize, what was our medication for? Now I need to go back on.
Yeah.
That's...
Like, so like you would just have to be on for like the rest of your life.
Yeah. Most people think that dealing with this different disorder they've been diagnosed with. Personally, I've been on medication, now I'm off. It's better to be off because you really get to feel what you're really feeling than feeling numb. And you can actually deal with your real problems and really feel what you're really feeling than having medication help you.
Okay, and then what about the people that say like, I've never had anxiety, I've been anxious, but there's always like a really like, there's like a reason. It's not like an unclear reason, right? I'm like, why am I anxious? Like, this doesn't make sense. Like, it makes sense, okay? So what about people that haven't experienced it?
I'll say that people that haven't experienced, they think they know what is really mental health, but they don't really know what effects it really has on a human that's dealing with it. People that don't have it, they can't really relate and really say like, oh, I feel like I know what you've been through, I get you. Like some people that I knew said like, deal with it, nothing's wrong with you, but they hasn't experienced it, so I feel like they feel uncomfortable talking about it if they never experience it themselves.
Okay. Now you're in 10th grade?
Yes.
Okay. And you had to actually go back 1 year to be able to catch up in school, right?
I started school late, so
yeah. Okay.
I started in 2nd grade.
Okay. So how is it, I guess like with like kids your age, how are they with talking about stuff that they're dealing with? Or are you like the most open one, or are you not open either at school?
At school, I'm open in school. I tell people that I know that it's doing the same thing. I'll tell them my past, and I try to help them and how they're not the only ones. People these days in high school, they put masks on. Like they preach.
Trust me, it's only high school. Once they're adults, they don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. No.
Like,
yeah, but they put masks on.
Like they put masks on, pretending everything okay, but I've been through everything, and I know when someone is faking
Yeah.
that they're okay. So I'll always ask people like that I know they're not okay.
Or it's one of those where they're not in a good place, but then they'll post like positive messages on social media.
Yeah.
And stuff just to act like they're good.
Yeah.
That only happens in high school. Adults never do that.
Yeah, so that was high school. My high school is like people just pretend everything is okay and never feel comfortable telling the truth to their friends or counselor that they know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anything else?
Not that I could think of.
You don't have anything else? What about just putting you on the spot.
Okay.
We're probably not going to use this. So usually at the end of the podcast, we'll have like a song.
A song?
Right.
Okay.
But it can't be NBA Youngboy.
Yeah.
Something that's probably like relevant to, you could kind of relevant to the podcast or something that's like motivating or inspiring.
Okay.
Like it could be, it could be anything. It could be like the Superman theme.
Superman theme?
Or it doesn't, I'm just making stuff up.
Like, I Rise Up.
Huh?
I Rise Up.
I Rise Up? By who?
By, oh gosh, I don't know her name.
Yeah?
I don't know her name.
Is it a good song though?
Yeah.
It's motivating?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll look it up.
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. The silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And for that we have each other. And we will rise, we will rise, we will rise. Oh, we'll rise. I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up. In spite of the ache, I will rise, 1,000 times again.